Hey everyone, I hope you're having a good evening. This card I made for my Sweet Gypsy Soul. She's having a challenge, and all she's asked for in her challenge is either for you to send her some stamped doll images or something beaded. That's what she wants for her challenge. And I will have a link to her video down here. It's a pretty easy challenge when you think about it, but I'm not going to just send stamped doll images. I definitely will be sending stamped doll images, but that won't be all that I will send, because I can't not send a card, a little something homemade to make it personal. So besides, I just have fun making cards. So here is a card that I just made, and it is again playing with my new graphic 45 stamps that I love. Yes, so I wanted to try some sort of collage-y stuff with this. It's been a while since I've done collage stamping, and I wanted to do something just a little bit different. I'm not sure how successful it is, but let me get it up close so you can see some details. In the background, I just took a piece of white cardstock, and I started by stamping the text stamp that comes in that collection with a dark green StazOn pad. I can't remember, it's hunter green maybe? But I stamped it off first and then stamped it on the paper, so it's just really faint. And then after I'd done that several times, down here, you can kind of see under here, I took the postcard stamp, which is right there, and I stamped it right here, but didn't stamp it off, so it's a little more positive. Then I took Salty Ocean and Vintage Photo, and I did a wash on the background. So I put the mostly Salty Ocean, and I put it down, and then I also did the splatter that I'm seeing people do a lot of lately, and then I just splattered the Vintage Photo on top of it, so you can kind of see up in this corner how that inking went. And then I dried it, and then I took this stamp, let's see if we can see it, like this. It's a sunflower, and I got out some markers, and I colored the stamp with the markers. So I had a yellow, a brown, a light green, and a darker green. And I stamped it 3 times on the background like that, and I was originally going to try to make this one layer card. That was not working. So, this card just sort of kept changing in my mind as I went. So then I stamped it again on plain white so that, you could see all the detail. And I fussy cut that out, and then I was just sort of stumped. So I took the Bonjour stamp, the hello stamp, and I stamped it in black, and then I used the lattice stamp that's in there, and I stamped it in the Salty Ocean, and then I sort of did the Vintage Photo on the edges or something, and then I stamped down on the plain white cardstock, and then I cut it out with an old Stampin' Up! Punch that is this tab, and I inked it just a slight bit so that it would show up against that white background. I put it on craft paper because I felt like that looked nice. And then inside, because the craft paper is kind of wimpy, I actually put another, it's not real strong paper, so I put another, just this blue, which I thought went nicely with the Salty Ocean. And so then when I was sitting here, I thought, oh, I'm going to make those flowers, so I did that, and then I started inking it with this new Sakura blue pen, and I have a bunch of these Spellbinder doilies that I'd cut out, and I just cut a bunch of them and I stuck them in my drawer, and I pulled it out and I inked it with the vintage photo, and I was just gonna stick this on top of it, but that wasn't quite this card just kept going, right? I even cut out I had a Spellbinders like flourish thing, and I thought I'm gonna use that on there, and it was this. But then that wasn't going on there, and so I had some paper that looks like this. It's kind of like a linen. It's got a really neat texture on my desk, and so I cut a strip out of it, and then I laid that on there and just inked over it with the vintage photo, so it gives it, it was kind of like making a stencil out of a die cut. So that happened. And then I still wanted something behind this flower, so I had some vellum sitting on my table, and I cut it out with this, and I inked, did the little pin work, and then I popped this up on dots. So this was quite, this card just kept changing on me, and I think that's the way these kind of collage cards get made. You know, you have happy accidents, and then you do something to deal with it. Like originally it was just going to be this, and then the yellow just didn't show up very well. Everything else on these flowers showed up fine, but the yellow just didn't show up, and I should have known that, of course, you know, but it wasn't working for me. So it just kept changing. So I am going to send this with my stamped doll images, which, by the way, I stamped in Stays On, and I've got, oh, I don't know, so far I've got a few. I've got to collect a few more that I want to put in the package, but that is my card that's going to go with my stamped doll images for this challenge, and I think that is my last challenge. So if you want to join her challenge, because it is really actually a very easy challenge, just send her a few stamped images or a little beaded thing. Look below and you'll find the link that'll tell you what you need to do. All right, you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.